Hey y'all, I'm Raina Harper, and welcome to EveRe-Watch Way, where I podcast a spell that takes a hold of you. And while I normally give a retrospective on the episodes of the Nickelodeon fantasy series Every Which Way, today I'm bringing in my second Witchy one-on-one interview with the folks directly involved with the show itself. And I'll cast a little spell here. When I'm by myself, I can't last, so summon a guest into the podcast. Well, welcome to costume designer for Every Which Way, Ifigenia Martinez, joining us live from Mexico. She's a costume designer and overall artist extraordinaire. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here and excited.
Of course. Yeah, it's so much fun to have you, and yeah, it's yeah, I really can't wait to hear all about your work and in general and on the show in question. But so yeah, um, how are you doing today?
Very good. I'm very good. I'm very happy. It's a sunny day, a hot
Yes.
day here in Mexico City.
Oh
I'm
yes.
resting right now. I'm happy. I'm happy to be here to have the time to talk with you.
Fantastic. And it's a real pleasure. How would you describe the work that you've done in film and television in general? Like what exactly have your roles been in throughout?
I'm a custom designer. I've been a custom designer for more than 10 years now, I think.
Hmm.
My work is defined by color. I love doing color and
Yeah.
bold custom design. So I love working with like all shapes and characters and finding out who these characters are going to be with the actors, with the director. I really, really enjoy and love my work a lot.
That's awesome. And it's really neat to hear you describe it that way. And yeah, your interest in bold color. I'll say that when you watch Every Which Way, that comes across. Um,
Yeah, right.
so to follow up with that, what as my first question, what's your favorite color?
Oh,
If you can
that's.
narrow it down.
I think I change because I think with clothes when you get up and you feel I don't know for me sometimes when I feel sad I try to do bold colors so it brings me up like red like pink like matching matching colors that maybe people wouldn't match like orange and red and pink
Hmm.
and it changes with how I feel. I think we
Yeah,
all should connect with clothes and with our feelings. You know what I mean? Like not
yeah.
only go to a store and buy anything, to think about it a little bit more and think what do you want to project? What do you want people to see in you? And with your clothes and your personality, I think it's all connected.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a beautiful way to think of it. And just out of curiosity, do you know what the cartoon Gem is from the 80s?
I love that one. I was when I was little, I lived
Hmm.
in Boston
Yeah,
and for 2 years, maybe a little more, two and a half. And
yeah,
when I came back, I'm from Venezuela, and when I came back from
yeah.
Venezuela, I had the dolls, and I was like, "Do you know this show?" And they didn't, and I became obsessed. And when the movie came out, I was really excited to
Hmm.
see it, but I didn't love it. I have to
Couldn't
say,
capture the magic. Uh,
yeah.
yeah. Trust me, I know all things Gem. I just had a hunch. Like, yeah, you and me might get along. Yeah. Um, it's like the way you described your love of fashion and like pick coordinating colors with your mood. Like there's the song in Gem. It depends on the mood I'm in. I don't. Do you remember that one?
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Um,
I think Jem marked me when I was little, like a lot.
yes. It has a focus on fashion. Uh,
Yes.
and like in its 80s way, uses color very and different types of clothing very creatively. And
Yeah.
and so and like yeah, thinking back on that now, I can I I can see that influence going into to the work you've done. Um, and
I didn't think I'm surprised that you came up with that because yeah, definitely
so
I'm very influenced by it.
yeah, so um, the like there were a couple shows that like last like about 8 months ago that I was like thinking of like starting a podcast recapping something that's really personal to me, and I was like I was thinking like, well, Jam actually has a few podcasts dedicated to it already. Every Which Way doesn't have any. I need to be that one.
Exactly. Yeah, of course.
We'll come back to the fashion later, and colors and how you think of it. But so you said you're from Venezuela originally.
Yes.
The so that how old were you? You said then you moved to Boston. How old were you then?
I was five, and I came back when I was 7,
Yeah.
and then I stayed in Venezuela and studied. And when I graduated from college, I came
Hmm.
here when I was 25 to Mexico City.
That
So,
that's
and
awesome.
I started
And
all my career here in Mexico City
very
as a
cool.
costume
Yeah.
designer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go yeah, seeing your many your credits lots of t television work in it Spanish language shows and things. It's
Yeah.
very cool. Your first credit listed here is as a wardrobe assistant on in 2010, and then you got to be then you got to work on a film starring Zoe Saldana herself. Um,
Yeah,
how,
I have to tell you this story.
yeah. Hmm.
When I came to live here, I graduated from business administration, but I didn't like it, and I was like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do with my life?" And I
Yeah.
was like a bit depressed and lost,
Yeah.
and I didn't know what to do. I was working in some productions as a production assistant and being extra
Yeah.
on video clips or whatever they call me to work in. And when I was being an extra for a video, the costume designer was Marilyn Fitoussi, that is the costume designer now from for Emily in Paris show. So I saw
Oh,
her;
that's
she was
awesome.
amazing. She wore a shirt as a headpiece, and I
Hmm.
told her, I want to be like you. What do I have to do to be
Oh,
like you? And she told me, "Well, you can come and work with me, and you're gonna suffer a
wow.
bit because I'm a very perfectionist person." And I was like, I'm in, and everything I know, I know it because of her. She's my mentor, so I'm pretty uh, like
Grateful.
amazed with what she has done with
Yeah.
her career.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
Absolutely. Uh, yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome. Like, yeah, so yeah, what a great career to have. And
yeah. I'm like looking
and
forward. I want to be like her. I still want to be like her
yeah,
in my own
uh,
way.
definitely. And so so as a small one of the first things I ask people I meet like to just as a small talk sort of thing to get to know them is what's your favorite movie?
Well, I have to say, as a costume designer, I really love the work of Eiko. She did Mirror Mirror. She did the Cell.
Oh yeah.
She did the Falls. She was like a really talented and creative and bold
Hmm.
costume designer. The costume of every Dracula as well. All those films are
Yeah.
like super edgy, colorful. The textures, it's like I'm in awe of her
Yeah.
work.
Absolutely. Um,
Have you seen Mirror Mirror? That was her
uh,
last film.
uh, I know of it. I haven't seen it, unfortunately.
Ah, you have to see
But
it. It's amazing.
where did you go to college? I don't know if you mentioned that.
I went to college in Venezuela. It's called Universidad Central de Venezuela, and
Hmm.
it's a prestigious college there. I didn't know what to study. I have to be
Hmm.
honest, and
Yeah.
and that was like 1999, 1998. So
Sure.
when it came to pick a career, it was like doctor, business administration, like
Hmm.
marketing, I don't know, like social communications,
Yeah.
and I was very lost, and I don't know.
Just
So
yeah.
a friend, she was like taking the test to get into the college, and she was like, do you want me to sign you up as well? And I was like, okay. And I got in. So I
Hmm.
was like all by chance. I was like very, yeah, I think very lost, very, I don't
Sure.
know, disconnected
Hmm.
to everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, it's yeah. It's certainly I'm glad that you were able to find a creative outlet and to make it work for you. Uh, but
Yeah, I thought that you had to be those things like doctor, dentist. I didn't even think that I could be a costume designer. It didn't exist, as a career.
mhm. Yeah.
So I was like anything gets my attention, and no, I don't know. I needed more guidance, I think,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but I got it. I got it when I got here and start working, and I fell in love with the career I made here.
Absolutely. Would you say w- all the philosophy you have, like the things you think about color and mood and such, is that stuff that you learned like uh on the job in the first like few projects you had? Uh, but is it like you didn't like think about color in that way before?
I didn't, and for me, the main thing was to break the rules. In everything,
Hmm.
there's a lot of rules, and you had like if your body has this shape, you should dress like this, or if
Yeah.
your skin color is this one, you should do these colors. Of course, when you follow the rules, the colors are gonna be you're gonna be shinier in some colors. Of course, if you wear
Yeah.
some shapes, your body it's gonna look better, but I think uh, you should wear what you feel comfortable
Yeah.
in. I think you should wear yeah, the colors and the things that interest you more than follow the rules and by the book. So I start
Yeah.
like every time I came up with something. I was like, I'm gonna break the rules. I'm gonna try to make this look better. Or sometimes when you work with an actor or an actress that maybe it's not super thin, I was like, no, you're gonna look awesome in your body, and you
Yeah.
have to feel comfortable, and you have to
Hmm.
be happy, and you have to be relaxed, so you can do your work. Because when you're a costume designer or you work with clothes, that's your job to make the person be comfortable in their skin and be happy and shine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that aligns with things I think about often in two distinct ways that you yeah mentioned clearly. Like, do whatever you do because you like it, uh, and
Yeah.
all and also it like whatever the conventional wisdom says, like when it comes to style or things like that. It uh, if if you do what you do confidently and because you like it, then for certain people, not everyone, of course, but for for the people who are important to you, that you can make it work. That,
Yeah. Yeah.
that that's a yeah beautiful way to think of it. And so so what do you recall when exactly you were asked to take part in Every Which Way specifically?
Yeah, of course. I was working, I think I was I'm trying to think about it, but I was going to go back. I think I started working with Nickelodeon on a show that it's called Talia's Kitchen.
Talia
That it,
Talia in the kitchen.
yeah,
Yeah.
that it's the Spanish version of I know Talia's Kitchen, Tony La Chef. I started with
Oh
Tony La
yes.
Chef, yes,
Yeah.
and then I did Talia's Kitchen, and if of course you know when you see Every Which Way, they introduce the
Yeah.
characters of Talia's Kitchen there.
Yeah.
So
There's the
when I
crossover episode.
yeah, it's a crossover. So when I did all those, I did Every Which Way. So I was working with Nickelodeon, but I think I started with Tony La Chef, and then
But
I did
yeah,
Talia's Kitchen, and then I did Every Which Way.
sure thing. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I didn't know about Talia and Talia's kitchen for a while. At after after seeing Every Which Way for the first time, and I've mentioned before in the episodes that I've done, like I was I was of exactly the right demographic and like interest group to be swept up in, and I heard about like the like within days of it like being introduced, like there were advertisements for it, and I was like, I gotta jump on this. That just it sounds awesome. And and I just found it so fun and kept up with it all the way through over the year and a half that it aired. And 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 you told me how you worked essentially behind the scenes, never being on set. So you
Yeah,
like were yeah, go ahead.
o sea, in those shows, the studio and Nickelodeon work with a
Mm,
production company, so they brought me to outline the characters, to like develop the characters, work with the color palette and all
hmm.
that. And then when I like gave the costume designer in the production house, I gave her like 20 changes for each character and told her this is the way they should dress, this is a color palette. So yes, I work hand by hand with Nickelodeon
Yeah,
art director and all the executive
that
for the show.
that's awesome. So you took the scripts that were finished, like so they handed that to you, and then you went into like
Exactly.
brainstorming sessions.
Exactly, and I did a mood board and told them, she should be like this, and for Every Which Way, I couldn't because I did the fourth season, so I had to keep up with the work the other costume designers were doing.
Yeah.
No, so I put a
Okay.
little bit
Yeah.
of my magic on it,
Yes.
but I couldn't be like super creative. In fact, with
Sure.
that, Daniel was like hard to like do his wardrobe
Yeah.
because the executive wasn't feeling it. It was like, no, this is off. You're not getting him right, and he was like so simple, but it was hard.
Hmm.
I don't know why.
Yeah, it's like yeah, I can imagine it like being harder than it looks. Like oh,
Exactly,
like
exactly.
like the characters in the show follow archetypes, and you would think like, well, you have an idea that comes to mind with that archetype, just bring it out,
Yeah,
but it
but
takes time
now
to make
that
it look
if you
right.
Yeah, now if you think about it, he's lost. Daniel is lost in the last season, right? He
Yeah,
always
yeah,
want to go back to his new old life. So I think
yeah.
that was like that was the reason why.
Definitely. So you had like a bunch of pre-existing outfits as like that they should like follow like in continuity with these. Is that right? Like they should continue like looking
For the
this general
show,
way.
yeah, I gave her for per character like 20 different outfits. I knew all the characters. I fit
Hmm.
all the characters. We developed all the new lines, if we can say that, of the characters, and then I gave it
Sure.
to the costume designer on set so she can
Hmm.
pick all the outfits she needed for each episode.
Hmm. That
So it
yeah,
was
that okay. Yeah.
like when I don't know how you say that, when you're running and you pass the testigo, we
Yeah.
say in Spanish, when you do
Um
carrera de relevos. I gave her the la estafeta.
oh
I don't know. How do you say that?
uh, so
Like I
I'm so
pass the ball to her, let's say that.
sure. Yeah. The just like oh here like it's sort of like a short list, and then they pick which off of that.
Yeah,
um,
of course. When you told me that we were going to do this, I
mhm.
rewatched my work, and I was like, I
Yeah.
remembering like, I love that outfit. I love this one. I also
Hmm.
was very critical, I see, of my work. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I can't
Oh,
believe I did this.
hmm. Yeah.
But it's funny
um
to revisit your old stuff.
sure. And one of the first things that like I've had plenty of guests come on and watch episodes and talk about them, and a lot of the things that, well, a few of them have tended to notice the costumes. They're like loud colors, and had a variety of uh opinions, like some just some being put off, but others like being intrigued in a positive way, and yeah, it's one of the most memorable things about it, the show in general, its overall aesthetic, the, and so you said you were like brought in like around the when season 4 was starting to be produced. Had some of the show already aired by that point when you came on?
Yeah, bueno, it aired season one, two, three.
Yeah. Okay.
So
The
I watched all of those so I could see what was all the characters about, no?
Sure.
Their
So
styles.
so yeah, yeah. So it was like, so it was in the very, so it was in a small window, because like season 3 aired in January 2015, and then like season 4 came out July 2015. With so so that you had so it was in that time
I
frame.
I think I did that in think I did that in January
Hmm.
2015. I think I did
Yeah,
that in
sure
January,
thing.
and it aired
Cool.
6 months, maybe.
That, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Um, yeah, well, that's when I remember seeing it, and it was I was just of course always on it, like making sure to just like to see what happens the next day, the telenovela style. Yeah, and did you have a favorite character to design for? Like, ooh, that this one's particularly fun to draw
Yes, the
ones of.
Panthers and Mari. I think Mari was amazing to work with her. She was like
Mhm.
super fun, super
Uh,
helpful. Um, yeah, it was like the three girls were amazing for me. So they were
that's so
like,
nice.
and I wanted to that they looked like a squad. So
Yeah,
I think I made it happen.
the the Panther Squad.
The
Yes,
Panthers, yeah.
and they like they've mentioned like so in my retrospective I'm on I've gotten like almost to the end of season two, um
Hmm.
and like they and so far they've mentioned a bunch of their like fashion traditions like Pastel Friday and things.
Yeah, and I think for them they have their own styles, but they
Hmm.
look alike because they are besties. So you can see like how the styles flow between them and the colors,
Hmm.
and yeah, it was
Awesome.
like super fun.
Yeah, I asked your fellow costume designer Anna, who did work on set, like about what she remembered about particularly the amount of statement necklaces. There's a huge
Yeah,
amount of statement necklaces in this show,
yeah, yeah,
and
yes,
I've
yeah.
and I've been wondering like who whose idea is that? Because I love it, you know. Oh, but
Yeah. Well, now that I rewatch it, you can see that was 2015. That
yeah,
was like the statement things you did on those years, no?
it was
And
the
the
style
belts
then.
and the yeah, and the white belts,
Yeah, and,
right? And the
and like I
shoes,
know
the platform shoes.
yes. The Yeah, the like high top sneakers. Well, and Andy in
Yeah.
particular, high top sneakers. Yes. Um.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
yeah. Um. The did did you did you enjoy Andy's as well? Because I love her outfits a lot.
Yeah, of course, of course. She was super fun. She was super fun. But now that I rewatch it, I was like, I don't know why I keep so safe. Like only black.
Yeah.
O sea, she was like so much fun. I could do more, but that's the
Sure.
past.
Well, it all fit. It like made sense for how she acts and talks and all.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yes, yes.
And so what was your workstation like? Did it have like a giant like area for drawing with like a bunch of markers or pens to the side and things? Was it like a big desk?
Well, I how I worked, it was like more like a collage, like making a
Oh
collage
yeah,
for each
like upright on
character.
the wall. Was it like that?
Yeah, no, we did it all digital. It was like all
Ah,
with the computer. Yeah, all
mm-hmm.
digital, and we have like for each character different see collage of styles of things that we thought it could work for each one of them, like
Like you
rocker,
said,
like
a mood
for
board.
yeah, mood board, a mood board, yeah. So you do that, and then you send them to the executive, and they tell you, no, maybe that's too bold. You should tone it down.
Hmm.
Maybe that's too colorful, and you have to do all the changes. For Emma, if you see, she was more like a hippie chick,
Yeah,
with the patterns and the styles,
yeah.
and
I was gonna say you're like the in your well, your love for making collages, just like Emma herself, really. Yeah.
yeah, exactly,
And
exactly.
did you have any? Do you have any like particularly fond moments that you remember of like working with others in that during that time?
Yeah, well, I remember laughing a lot with Paris, with Maddie. It was like
Ah.
we had so much fun, and laughing and creating and doing all
Hmm.
the matching of the colors and the patterns.
Hmm.
It was like they were amazing. The characters and the three of them
Them as
were
people.
such lovely girls, and helped me because they came. I was new, and this was the fourth season for them, so they
Hmm.
were like a family, and I was the new there,
Yeah.
so they were like lovely with me.
Ah.
So I remember having
That.
so much fun with them.
Oh, that's amazing. Uh, yeah. The glad that you got to got to get to know them, and I'm sure that I'm sure that influenced did that like influenced like how you made changes like based on their personalities. Is
Yeah, of course, of course. And I have to say, those were my first were sea works as a costume designer,
mm,
because as you were saying earlier, I worked in a Soy Saldana movie, but
yeah.
I was a costume supervisor. My boss was
Mm,
Marilyn, the person I talked to you about.
yeah.
So these were my first works as a costume designer. So
And taking the
it was
lead.
exciting. Exacto, like a leader of the project. So it was exciting, but at the same time, I was like really nervous. Sometimes you're like doubting every decision.
Mm,
So I was very grateful that they were like so nice and so lovable for taking me in. So I did
that
like the best I could.
yeah. That That's so lovely. What were your biggest lessons that you took forward in terms of like well I know I'm gonna do even better on the next things I work on. Like what were your biggest like lessons learned really?
Like to be more confident. O sea, they brought me in because I had talent. So I was like
Hmm.
very, see, like I was careful with everything, with all my decisions, and now I think, like I told you, I was like, ah, no, I could be, see, to take bolder decisions. Like I was like too safe, I think, for me.
Sure.
So I have, see, the lesson is to take up space, to be more confident, to be yourself, and embrace your talent, because that's why you're
That
there.
awesome. Yeah, uh that's great that you picked those things up and yeah, those are definitely words to live by in whatever you do. Or um
Exact.
are there any folks from your Every Which Way days that you've kept in contact with still?
Mm, I think no. because when I
Sure.
did all the shows there in
Hmm.
Miami, I mean,
Yeah.
they moved the like the company to
Yeah.
Mexico, to Argentina, and I think to Colombia. And then I
Hmm.
started my career here in Mexico, and I didn't come back. Or I don't know if I came back,
Sure.
but to work on MTV shows, I think. I don't
Yeah.
remember uh,
Yeah.
exactly
There's a few
how it happened.
MTV things, couple MTV things. Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
uh, but glad that I'm happy for all the projects that you've worked on being able to continue on it and
Yes.
and do get and do awesome work. Um and yeah, it's is there anything else about working on well working on this show in specific or in your work sense that you think people should know that you'd like people to to know.
Well, I think if you like Every Which Way, you should watch Talia's Kitchen. That it's
Uh,
like the little sister.
yeah.
Um, and I know, I also did a movie called Gringa that it's also in
Hmm.
English
Hmm.
because I all my works are in Spanish
Oh yeah.
that you can
So
watch. Yeah.
some big names in there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a pretty cute movie, and yeah, I'm so grateful for those shows, for Every Which Way,
Hmm.
for Talia's Kids and Tony Lachef, because as I said, those were my first gigs as a
Hmm.
leader, as a costume designer. So I learned so much, and the company was so open to my ideas. I got to be so super creative and work with people of many nationalities. I got to practice my English
Awesome.
and start creating characters with actors. I learned like I learned like the first things that you stumble on when you
Yeah,
start see your career, your a new position, you know what I mean.
definitely.
So it has like a huge place in my heart, and thank you so much to for reminding me my early steps in my career.
Yes. Yeah, it get it it gave you the building blocks to continue to to start your career and this show was definitely
Yes.
an important cultural memory for my upbringing too. I was yes when it first started I was 14 and and like so much about it and include not just the plotline characters, but its visual elements, the costumes included, stuck in my mind, and I'm sure like subconsciously inspired me in things I've worked on since, and like clearly it left an impression because I like was thinking about it enough to start a podcast about it. So um yeah, I hope people
Yeah.
hope people have enjoyed that me talking about it so far, and I hope people and I really hope people
Yeah.
enjoy hearing from you because I certainly did. And so yeah,
Yeah, thank you
anything
so
else you
much.
of course anything else you want to say at all before we sort of wrap up? I
No, thank you so much for
think we covered it all.
inviting me. If you want to follow me, my Instagram is Ify the Stylist. So
Mhm.
I always post there the shows I'm working on and all the
Mhm.
projects I'm starting and very passionate about. So if you want to
Yeah.
follow me there, please do. And
I'll
no,
share all the links to
I'm
it in the description. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm so grateful for being here. I'm sorry for my broken Spanish. I have to
No,
practice
no,
more.
no worries at all. I was really, I was, well, I met, uh, I was, I was trying to parse the words because I have spent, I did, live for a month with a woman in Spain, and like the accents are somewhat different, but I was like somewhat close.
Yes.
I like got the general idea of what you were saying. It when yeah, but. Yeah. You ever been to Spain?
Yes, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's very
Awesome.
inspiring.
Well, uh, yeah, yeah, certainly is. I discovered a whole bunch of my favorite movies and artworks when I was there. That was about 6 years ago now. Um, yeah, it was very cool. And so yeah, um I'm super grateful to you, Ify, for being on. And so for everyone watching, I hope definitely follow all of Ify's work on social media, to which she's mentioned it, and I'll put the links in the description. And thanks everyone for watching. Have an follow Every Watch Way on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Give it a like, follow, share it around, and and um and, I hope you all have an excellent week. Stay healthy, and finally, best
Best
magical
magic
wishes.
wishes.